we have a qualified person, we have the liability insurance, because if something goes wrong, we have to make good, and then we're certified that everything's taken care of. He said, you'll sell 4 or 5 homes in a tract of 349 homes every month. That's $1,500 to $2,000 that we earn by doing that service. We collect the money and directly. It doesn't go to a lockbox, to a bank, and all of that. So there are a number of issues that they claim that they will save us a substantial amount of money. We will wait and we will see. But if it's true, we should be extremely happy. I have called them, I don't know, 5 or 6 times over the last 6 months, and a girl answers the phone, which is not the case with AAM. I tell them who I am, and I said, can I speak to Paul or Sue Rubin? And she said, just a minute. Every time one of them comes to the phone within a few minutes, and we talk, sometimes for a half an hour. Have any of you called AAM and ever gotten through, and ever talked to anyone, and ever got an answer? That's it.
All the way in the back.
I got
Yeah.
Number one, how are we able to make a decision when 40% of our board is brand new and we have all the facts?
100%.
Number two, what was your selection criteria?
Just
Three, do you have anything in writing, a statement of work and list of fees, or how are you deciding those?
I have some paperwork here.
Let's start with number one. Do the 2 board members feel confident to make a decision based on just an anecdote of that without all the facts? How do you make a decision for all of us right now? I could never make a business decision like this just by a
The 2 new board members, is that what you're asking?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
40% is new.
I would prefer to see contract and everything like that.
I love
Absolutely.
hearing that.
I think that's smart.
Yeah.
Ken has said that he's spent 8 or 10 hours with this company, vetting them. I mean,
Okay.
I don't have any
That's great.
reason to, personally, I don't have any reason to think he's being sneaky or anything like
Well, I'm
that.
not implying that, but what's your
No, I
selection
understand.
criteria? You know?
I did also do a little research on one of the similar community management companies that Ken is talking about, and I did notice just some big significant things, like they put the money into CDs that acquire interest, unlike AAM, and there was a few other things. I mean,
Okay, but
there's a lot of information, so.
Right.
What's the fee for the CD?
I want to say, I can't remember what the percentage was, but it was a.
Because that's kind of a big deal if we take it out, if we need it for whatever. I mean,
I just know that it was more than what AAM was doing at
We get
all.
essentially nothing from AAM.
That's,
no, I hate AM. I mean, I think, excuse me, hate's a really strong word, but I don't agree with AM, and I think we definitely need a new management company.
But comparing a new one.
I think we need to know the fees associated before we, I mean, you guys are on board, but I think that's important.
There's no harm in pumping the brakes a little bit. We got 2 brand new members here. I can't imagine, like she said, that they could have any more information than this, and they might have a little bit, but I don't think it's fair to expect these guys to make a decision on the fly. There's no reason why you can't call another special meeting just for them to simply vote for that. After you've had enough time to digest this information and come up with something on paper rather than, gosh, I talked to these people.
I don't even feel like I've had enough time, so I agree with you. But, yeah, go ahead, Chris.
So I mean,
We'll get everybody, I promise.
no offense, but the idea of selecting a vendor in that kind of a process where you talk to them a couple times without having clear selection criteria is a recipe for issues. And so, like I said, I've run major transitions, and the first thing you have to do is have a very clear definition of what services you require, what they're going to do for you, what they won't do for you, and be able to clearly articulate that. And so I'm a little concerned with us trying to jump right into it with have a group of us start that process and give an informed set of data to us as a group.
Priscilla?
Yes, this would have been a good conversation had we had it in July, but we were given notice by AAM, and that was for December 31st. The new company must take at least 30 days in order to make the transition. There's a lot of things that need to be covered.
So, like I said, in next door, I'm happy to help start the transition tomorrow.
Well,
If it's a matter of getting data, getting all the records, because that's what I do.
I realize that, and I appreciate that. But this is the vote before the board right now.
Right, but I think what he's saying is, and I heard you mention, if I may, just what you were just saying, there's no time.
There's no time.
We do have a 2-day notice for a meeting, which we've just been exposed to. There's a 2-day notice for an emergency meeting. We do have time.
That is an emergency meeting. This is a special meeting of the
Okay, well
board.
then we only need 2 days for a special meeting. And we can have an emergency meeting as well, if we
Well,
need to.
We can't plan another general meeting to do this before the 31st of
No one's
December.
talking about a general meeting.
He's talking about doing the work. What's that, if that's not a general meeting?
We're talking about, right now, getting more information before we make a decision.
I think we have all the information that we need, and I will,
Please.
excuse me if I may.
Hold on.
I'm 78 years old, and I'm really too old for this. But I have sat down at the table with Sue and Paul Rubin, and they have answered all of the questions that we have. There is a contract before the board. There is a list of items that Paul has gone over. He just did this with another company that changed over from AAM, another homeowners group. And they are completely, I am satisfied that they know what they're doing. They've been doing this for 30 years. And if you don't like it, in 6 months, choose another company. This is a no-brainer.
Is that list of questions available?
Okay.
I'm sorry, hold on. I asked about, if the list of questions is available, maybe it would help.
Not right now.
Okay. I'm sorry, please.
Yeah, we're looking at a new associate, or a new management company, okay? Some of you, a lot of you in this room, is your first board meeting, okay? This is not my first board meeting. This is not my first dealings with AAM, okay? They've been coming after me with a lawsuit for 2.5 years. Am I jaded? You're damn straight I'm jaded. I'll admit it right to everybody in this room, okay? The alternative that we have right now is the best situation that we have. I think with the company that Ken's picking, I think they have no reason that they will not sign a clause that if we're unhappy with them in 6 months, they'll let us leave. We're not locked into anything. If we wait and we keep our money with AAM, who knows where this money's gonna go? These people cannot be trusted. Okay, y'all wanna talk about stuff later on, you don't wanna talk about it in this room, I have a whiteboard pickup outside. Be more than happy to talk to y'all online. Not a big deal, I can do that. But I think we cannot keep with AAM, we can't stay with them.
It's done.
We need to make a decision.
It's not an option.
I know it's not an option, but if we don't have a management company, then we're not in the laws here. We're in trouble. The association's in trouble. Okay? So we have to do, hold on, I'll let you talk in a second, sir, but we have to do something. So I think if Ken goes back to this company and says, hey, if these folks aren't happy in 6 months, will you let us out of the contract?
It's 30 days. It's 30 days.
It doesn't have to be 30 days, just put 6 months on it. I don't think that company's gonna have an issue with it, because I think they're straight up. So if we're worried about stuff, and we're worried about how much money we're gonna make off the CD, and how much money, well, we're not making anything right now. And we have enough money in certain accounts that we don't need $750,000 to just drop the hat. If we need it, we're gonna pay a penalty on it anyway. So some questions that are being raised here are a little bit above what we need to be raising. So that's my 2 cents.
All the way in back, by the window?
I think what we want, and Ken, since you talked with these people, can you ask them to do a proposal or a contract for us so that you can give it to your board members? Because we're not gonna vote on it, the board members are. Just ask them to write up a contract, like we would with any service people, that what they'll do, what they want to do. That's what I think people are asking. That's it. It's-
So you should give us a contract.
He has given
No,
us.
this contract can only be reviewed by the board.
Exactly.
Yeah, we all have one.
There's a clause in the contract that until we sign the contract, it's confidential between them and the board. I cannot share it with you.
I don't think he heard her.
And that you did have a contract, that's all I'm asking, because I don't think these people thought you had a contract or a proposal.
Yes, we have a contract.
That's great, so that gives them information, period.
Have they reviewed the contract with two new guys? How can they vote on something they haven't done?
Just got
I
here.
see a hand up, but I,
20 minutes to review.
right there. Go ahead.
Ken, have you been able to talk to any other community that has used them as a property owner? I mean, a property management company?
Yeah, Google, everybody hates them.
Have you used that, check any references?
1.5.
We couldn't hear the question.
Okay,
Please, everyone, if
Other
we,
community reference.
we'll get through this a lot quicker.
well, we only have the room till 8 o'clock, so we're gonna hold a vote in about 10 or 15 minutes. So let's keep the issue.
I thought the flyer said 9.
No, we've got it from 6 to 8. That's it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
I just wanted to know if you had spoken to any of the, another community that has used them as a property.
No, I have not.
Okay. How do you know?
I have spoken to someone who lives in the community as, not as a board member, but as a resident, and they didn't have any complaints.
We'll come back to you in just a second. Yes.
Just that, I'll just say, just a couple, my name's Patrick, I want to second the comment that was made up front. You guys have time, you know, I would definitely.
I'm sorry,
pump the
please.
brakes, take a
I'm
minute.
sorry, can you hold?
Sure.
Can we please keep the background chatter for 1 second? We really want to get through this.
This
Go ahead.
is just standard contractual procedures. This is something where you can ask for references, you can do a lot more fact checking. Again, I don't see the need to rush on this. I mean, you can
There
certainly
is
probably
a
pull
need.
that together in a couple of days and just move forward. I mean, there seems to be a lot of unanswered questions, and I think a lot of people in this room are feeling a little bit uneasy about this.
So be it.
Did you have a question as well, or no?
Just curious if anybody on the board has a business or personal relationship with the owners of this company?
No.
I've never met him before or talked to him before.
So, can I ask a question? It's kind of directed towards you in the back. Is this, if we got references from other three communities, or however many communities, would that satisfy? Is that part of the satisfaction?
That's one. That's one. But I mean, this is a big decision.
It is.
It's a lot of work to do all that converting from one to another. So I don't think that you should be able to make that decision with a snap of your fingers, because it is a big decision.
I'm sorry, we did say we'd come back to you, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, someone else said, like, look at the Google reviews. I mean, if you pull it up a 1.7 that says, if I could rate this company as 0, it wouldn't be low enough. This is a joke of a company. Crooks will not take care of anything. This is 2 months ago, 3 months ago. The worst company out there. I would give them less than 1 star if I could. They can't even manage themselves, much less the property. So,
I got something. If anybody's got any suggestions out there too, like, I mean, and anybody else wants to do research, I mean, like,
He's already volunteered.
I'm just saying that I know that, like, with a lot of HOA community management companies, you're gonna find good, you're gonna find bad. I mean, mainly, I know I tried looking, I couldn't find one positive thing about any of them. I couldn't find one positive thing about none of them.
And that's why you need a specific criteria to evaluate it, like an RFP. Exactly.
I'm sorry, Chris?
I was actually just going to say that as I'm thinking. I think we need a new community manager. There's no doubt about that. I'm just curious, the search criteria, we only have one on the board out of all the management companies in the state of Arizona.
Good point.
We only have one that's up for nomination or for our election. That seems like with all the research that Ken and Paul and Brent and Damon and Finn have or haven't done, or anybody in the audience has or has not done, we only have one property manager out there? One?
There are
No.
dozens.
We had a list of 10
Oh, okay.
that we've been researching, then we kind of
I'm sorry, I
narrowed.
don't have that.
Oh.
So,
It's
If you'd
up
like-
on the board.
Okay, because we were just focused on this one company.
No, then we narrowed it down.
We started with 30.
We narrowed it down, okay.
Narrowed down.
Sorry.
Well, I will make a comment on it as a homeowner. I'll take the floor for a second. I find it a little disconcerting that several members of the audience or new members of the board seem to know more about this than I did. So they were informed prior to me even learning about it, so.
Well, I just did this on my own, started researching it a lot, because I thought we needed it.
But we should have all chatted about it as a board and reviewed the criteria.
But you
rather
didn't come
than-
in July, Paul.
I'm sorry?
You didn't come in July. There was no meeting in July.
Okay, we don't even want to go down that road, please, go ahead.
I'm glad you had 30 companies to choose from. All I've heard is you made a couple of phone calls for one company, and that was your vetting process. I think that's a little bit short-sighted.
No. No, you went to.
Okay.
We still started with over 30. I dropped it down to 10. I actually did detailed meetings and evaluations with 3. Somebody else did a 4. Out of that, we picked 1. I picked 1.
And I agreed with that one from the research that I
But
had.
as a fiduciary responsibility, as the way you're taking philosophy on this, this is a very serious
I
vetting
will
process.
stand up and confess if it goes south. Yes.
Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
I have a question. You mentioned that you narrowed it from 30 to 10, and then the 3, you got it down to this 1. But what was the vetting process? You said there is no matrix that you have established of requirements, but you said you somehow narrowed it down. What was your vetting process?
I'm not going to start that process here. I'm sorry.
How can you make a decision?
How can you make a decision if you can't even explain?
The board is charged with making the decision.
Okay, I'm sorry, can we please bring it back together for 1 second, please? One more and back, then we'll go. Yeah.
Well, can you tell us what the needs of the community are and how this company meets our needs?
I don't understand the question.
What are the needs of this community and how does this company fill those needs?
How much time do you have?
I'm here all night, sir.
Well, we're not. We're going to make a vote in about 5 minutes. I'm sorry. You can vote me out at the next time there's
You
one.
can't tell us what our needs are, you're responsible to vote it out.
Yep.
You can't tell us
I
the matrix
have
of
worked very hard over a long period of time for this, and that's the way it is.
Tell us what your criteria was.
That's all he's asking.
That's all I'm asking is what is your criteria that you had? The last meeting that I watched on the video, you even admitted you made mistakes 3 years or 6 years ago and you were
made some
incompetent.
big
So
mistakes.
what's the difference now?
I've learned.
You can prove it. Tell us what your criteria is.
I'm not going to tell
Establish
you.
your
The
criteria.
answer is I'm not going to tell you.
No, he was recognized.
Not to continue this haranguing a board member, no. This was to speak to the issue.
Okay, you have not been recognized. Yes,
Fine.
please.
I'm Michael Berry. My first board meeting was the last meeting. And just for those who weren't there yet, when you walk in and you see uniformed police officers in the room, it's quite an eye-opener. That aside, I would like to make a suggestion. We know we need a management company in place with the turnover by December 31st. If the board chooses to vote this proposed person in, I would suggest that we put an amendment on there or do something where we then start a committee that immediately looks at vetting a group of these management committees or management companies together so that the whole community can come together and see this was done properly, it was not in a rush, we're all in agreement, and then when we put this up for a vote in the future, it might be the same management company. You might really like that.
Might I also tag along on that and state that, should we vote for this company, we agree that within the next 10 days, we appoint, or we, along with some board direction, we have some independent people working on the transition to ensure that there is no partisanship, there is no biases, and we have a committee that's looking at everything that needs to be transferred to ensure that the checklists are covered, everybody's covered, and nothing is missed.
That is not on the agenda for this meeting. We cannot do anything besides the items on the agenda.
You guys can figure it out on your own, hopefully on a phone call.
we need to then have additional meetings. AAM only scheduled 4 meetings for the entire year. That is wrong.
And in 2016, there were none.
Yeah,
So,
there were none.
what I'd like to propose then, we have, the item that's on the agenda is to approve the management company.
Yes.
I'm making a modification to that, and you can modify an agenda, that we do approve them with the caveat that we have a committee to do the transition. I'm not changing the agenda, I'm adding to the motion, that's all.
You can't add to the motion. The motion and the second is before the board.
Okay,
If you want to try and have another motion, but you can't because
I'll
that's
wait,
the motion.
and if this does not pass, then we can amend it, so.
That is correct.
But we still have 2 more hands, yes.
My understanding is you can ask for a motion to amend the motion.
You are correct.
Why is the community as a whole not privy to the information that the board is when electing this company?
Why are members of the board not privy to what members of the board are privy to?
That's an appropriate call.
Yeah,
Are you going
well,
to-
you had that.
I will amend,
Are you going to have a motion to amend the motion?
I will make a motion to amend the motion to accept the management company that has been proposed with a transition team of no less than 3, headed up by one board member, and we have 5 of us now, we can determine who that is, and 2 independents. I know my vote right now, and I think the majority of the room in here thinks that someone who's done this, but we will identify 2 additional members to be on that committee to work on the transition team. That is the amended motion. If second. Wait, we have a
We
motion.
have a motion before the board.
Nothing's been seconded yet.
I'll second the amendment.
Okay.
Good job.
All those in favor? Aye.
No.
So we got 3.
We got 3 ayes.
Yeah.
That's, are you abstaining or voting? No, I'm looking at Mr. Valdez. Yeah, aye. So it's 4 to 1. It passes with a committee that we will determine. Yes, Chris.
Nobody answered my question. Why can't we have the knowledge that you guys have?
The knowledge of what?
Why can we not be privy to the information? It was all in contract. We don't have any information. in
Get on the
report.
committee.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
No,
we
but
can't
I mean,
share the
why don't you
contract, they
just
don't
sort of
allow us to share.
They won't allow us to show the
Management
contract.
companies don't allow it, but you can research the companies. It's very time consuming, but anyone can research.
So we are approving the contract.
We are approving the contract. Wait, excuse me 1 second. We have 1 more hand. Yes.
I just wanted to reiterate what was passed.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was a little confusing.
Right.
Was it passed where we're going to choose that management company? And I wasn't quite sure what passed.
I thought we just approved the motion to change the motion.
We made the amendment to change the motion to approve the management company, but appoint a transition team headed up by 1 member of the board and 2 independent members.
Are you going to decide
What does that
that?
mean?
I'm sorry, sir?
Are you going to decide that now? Or just did?
That unfortunately is not part of the agenda that's on tonight, so we cannot. However,
So we accepted the management company.
yes.
Yes.
For 30 days.
That's what I'm confused.
I'm sorry?
Did we approve the management company? Did you approve the management?
We approved the management company, changing the management company with a transition team, yes.
Okay, so on a short string?
I'm sorry?
On a short string?
On that 30-day window to get it done by 1/1.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we also reserve the right, according to the terms of the contract that Ken mentioned, we have an out clause, should we not be happy after 6
Okay,
months.
that's what I want to
It's
know.
30 days.
I'm sorry, it's 30 days. So that is in the contract.
It's 30 days.
The only thing I'm trying to set up is an independent transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe that vote was to amend the original motion. I don't believe you voted on the amended.
We did, that was the vote.
You voted to amend it, but you didn't vote on the motion as amended.
You have to have another
Okay.
vote.
Now can we vote on the amended motion? Aye.
Can you state clearly what
the amended motion is. Lauren, clearly.
Okay. Can we have just one more minute, folks, please? Just one more minute, please. The amended motion that's on the table is that we accept the contract, the new management company. We also appoint a committee of 3 members, 1 board member to be decided, and 2 independent members to be decided to work on the transition. The contract, this is not part of the motion, but I want to point out that the contract has a 30-day out clause should we not be happy while we're doing the independent transition or at any point in time during that 1-year period. That is the motion that's on the table. Aye.
Aye.
No.
Aye.
Brett's and I.
Brett's and I. Okay. I also want to just stress, because I know that the question is going to come up, okay, given our period of time and so on, there is a section 3.5 that says we can take action via written request as long as it's disclosed on the next meeting's minutes. So in the event that we need to appoint this committee without a meeting of the homeowners, whether it's an emergency meeting or otherwise, we will take that and it will be announced in the minutes, should the board decide that's the route they want to take. If not, our other option is to have either an emergency meeting or a special meeting. We don't have time for an open meeting with 10 days notice. I agree. Yes.
I just want to clarify, because I thought you originally said that the transition committee would be composed of a minimum of 3.
Minimum of 3. Well, absolutely, yes.
Okay, because that's not what you just said.
Right,
so.
You're right, I did say a minimum.
Okay.
And one of the things I also want to reiterate is that if we get another management company that is no good, I am going to be that one of the people that stand up and say, hey, we want them gone. We want somebody else, because I don't want anybody else to have to go through what I had to go through with AAM or any of these other corrupt companies that are out there. If they're no good, I will make sure they are gone. So, you know,
Seeing that the agenda has been fulfilled and there is no more action to be taken, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8 o'clock. Actually, we don't need it, but thank you. Second, all those in favor? Aye.
Guys have it.
Thank you for a good meeting.